Hey guys, we are looking to empty the pits in the Just for Fun area on Magic Online, and we would like to play first. This, I think, is a keep. Actually, a pretty good hand, I think. We'll keep it. Uh, we have all of our colors. We can leave mana up probably for Anticipate, and then cast Monastery Siege, and then probably scheming a little bit later when I'm trying to dig for my win condition or something. So I think it seems pretty good. Would be nice to have one of our 2-mana 2/1s. Them getting in for early damage is usually pretty relevant, and their milling is also nice because each of them equals their 2/1 themselves and basically a 2/2 zombie, at least in the later game. So yeah, I will probably play. I mean, unless I draw a creature, which is possible, I'm just going to play Swamp. Okay, it didn't. I'm just going to play the Swamp and then cast Anticipate and then Monastery Siege on turn 3. We have Languish for things start to get a little scary. And now we have Dark Petition too to help us find what we need, particularly our Empty the Pits. Opponent playing a little bit slowly, but he may be new to the client and just for fun. I'll try my best to fill the empty time with interesting discussion. It's not the easiest thing to do all the time when you're just sort of staring at the same hand for a long period of time, but I will try. So we'll have Spell Mastery pretty easily with this hand. All right. We will Anticipate, which is good for Dark Petition, because if you have at least one other swamp, what do I want here? Probably the Scob, actually. I mean, lands are nice, but yeah, I'm going to take the dude. Put those on the bottom. Okay, so I think we probably still play our Siege here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've found that my deck tends to be more successful the longer I have Monastery Siege in play. And there's probably not a counterspell. There's not a counterspell in Standard he can use to deal with our Monastery Siege, so I don't think. Actually, I guess Negate could, but usually people don't mainboard that, so. Cons. All right, so now we'll be drawing an extra card and, discarding a card, which is good for this deck to do. Opponent still hasn't done anything, which is interesting. I'm guessing he's probably a control deck of some kind if he's mono blue. Could even be a deck trying to take advantage of Shore Crasher Elemental, who doesn't see much play because he costs triple blue, but pretty legit card. Who knows? I could see that being a deck, though. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and lose a Scheming now. And then I'm going to play a Scob. See if that resolves. Our opponent now has mana for Counter Magic. We don't care too much if he counters Screeching Scob. Counter Magic's pretty bad for us in general. Yeah, looks likely that his deck is just a deck with a bunch of counter spells in it. So that works for us. I mean, not really, actually. Our deck's mostly fine-tuned to be facing off against decks that play a lot of creatures and not any counter magic. Because, Languish is kind of a dead card in a matchup like this one. I'll probably end up wanting my Crux instead because his win condition's probably a lot larger than a 4/4. Unless it's Short Crasher Elemental, I guess. Alright, and there are 2 3-mana counterspells in Standard right now, both Cancel and the one with Awaken, so that's worth keeping in mind. Oh, there's Empty the Pits. I think here we lose Scheming. I think getting creatures out can be pretty big against this guy, even our little Skullkeepers. So I'm going to play Skullkeeper. See if it gets canceled. It doesn't. All right, so we're up to 6 cards. We have our 4 black sources, by the way, for Empty the Pits. So that's good. All right. And we have Spell Mastery now. I think we already had it, actually. Yeah, we did. But now we definitely have it. Play out the Scav as well. Right, they both resolved, which, 2/2/1s against this deck may end up being enough to get us there, especially with the help of Empty the Pits in the near future, which right now can make 4 zombies, which isn't irrelevant. I mean, depending on what my opponent does, I may try to do it at the end of his main phase, at the end of his turn, rather, next turn. I should probably wait till he's tapped out, though, ideally, since we've already seen he's got counter magic in his deck. It's not exactly ideal. All right, so it's blue-red, not mono-blue as it appeared there. So what does that mean? I don't know. So probably not Short Crasher Elemental, I'm guessing. Okay. All right. I think I probably discard the wilds. These other cards seem like they could easily be useful. I mean, there's a chance Languish is a dead card, but I'm keeping it just in case it's not. Dark Petition can help me fetch a second Empty the Pits if he counters my first one. So yeah, I'll discard the wilds. Twin Bolt would be pretty good against us right now, I guess. It'd kill both our dudes. But also make it so we have a bigger Empty the Pits coming up, though, so we'll swing with both our 2/1s. Yeah, looks like he's got something. All right. Okay. So I think we just end our turn there. So now we can make 5 zombies? 5 zombies. So, I mean, if he taps out on his turn, that's definitely what we're doing, is just going for 5 zombies and trying to win that way. If he doesn't tap out, I probably don't do it and just keep doing what I'm doing. It all depends on what our opponent does. Okay. I have a feeling, I mean, if Languish is a dead card, Grasp is definitely a dead card, so I'll discard the Grasp. Swing for 2. See if it eats another removal spell here. That would put us at 12, which means 6 zombies. Okay. I think we tried to play our second Monastery Siege this time. See if he lets that resolve. Might even be worth naming the other thing on it, but we're not going to get to see. All right, negated. So now we're at 12, so we're up to 6 zombies. Yeah, I mean, if we get more mana, it does mean we can try to cast something and then cast Empty the Pits when he taps out to counter it or something like that, but obviously that's not, like, perfect. Definitely up against a control deck of one kind or another, so we probably end up siding out a lot of cards here. I'm thinking about discarding Languish now that I'm looking at the cards I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm going to. I did it. Okay. We will get in for some more, theoretically, here. If we don't eat a removal spell. Alright, I'm going to try to cast Oath of Jace, which will stock our graveyard even more. He may counter it. Alright, looks like he does. Spell Shrivel, okay. Also gets exiled, which is annoying for us, but that's okay. Our opponent has to tap down a decent amount of mana at some point. We'll anticipate at the end of his turn, which will put us up to 7 zombies. Ooh, is he tapping out? Pretty much. That's kind of surprising. Now I wish I'd kept Empty the Pits man up. I may just have to cast it on my turn if I want it to resolve. I think I will. So we'll cast Anticipate. Getting our second Pits would be nice, I guess. There it is. I think I am going to take that so that if he ends up dealing with things here, we're okay, basically. Like, you know, we'll have to stock our graveyard again, but with Monastery Siege in play, it's not a huge problem. All right. So if we can get an untapped land, that does mean one more zombie. Okay, well, this isn't an untapped land, so I think I'm going to toss it. Although lands are better with my second Empty the Pits, I guess. And Dark Petition doesn't seem awesome, actually, in this matchup, so I'll go ahead and discard that. There's a chance he has something in his deck like that does 2 damage to all creatures. Something like that would be pretty bad for us right now. But I think it's probably still better to try to cast Empty the Pits now, since he's running counter magic, than it is later. So we're going to get in for 2 here. Yeah, we Fate's an instant, so I'm kind of surprised he decided to tap out like that. Maybe he's just like, well, this guy doesn't have anything but Screeching Scob, so I don't need to worry. Which, you know, he's not that wrong. I think I'm going to hold on to this Scob in my hand to be used to help restock my graveyard for a second Empty the Pits. And right now I'm just going to cast Empty the Pits for reasons I already mentioned, so... yeah, I guess we could tap everything, but he could have freaking Stubborn Denial or Silumgar's, yeah, not Silumgar's Scorn, that costs 2. So it may not be worth it to. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to, just in case. Gotta pay the 4 first, or Magic Online has a heart attack. We'll leave Languish in, I guess, could prove useful if we get our Reclaim. Alright, so we'll put 7 zombies into play. So if our opponent has a way to deal, then obviously we're not thrilled, but it's not the end of the world since, you know, we have a Scob and another Empty the Pits in our hand on top of having the Monastery Siege in play, so... we will get our 7/2/2s. There they are. And I'll play Opulent Palace and in my turn. So we've already got 1 zombie worth of cards in our graveyard, so could be relevant. Now we see if he has Seismic Rupture or cards like that. It seems likely or possible, at least in his sideboard, if he's playing Control. Radiant Flames right now would also kill us. I mean, not kill us, but put us in a bad place. Any of those cards would. But there's not a whole lot of other stuff that can stop us. Like, if he just plays a creature here, then we're like, okay, swing for lethal. But a card like Seismic Rupture, like anything that does 2 damage to everything would be bad. Is there anything else that does 2 damage to everything in his colors? No. Okay, well, that means we win, because we're going to get in for lethal. Yeah, I'll lose the wastes. Swing with everything. So there is a creature. It's maybe a prowess deck, and we just didn't see all that was going on with it. Because, yeah, he can only stop 1 creature, and then the other 7 hit him for 14, so... that should do it. All right. On to game 2. So, like, probably don't want something like Languish or Crux of Fate. We probably do want Grasp of Darkness to kill his individual things. It's not clear whether or not Ultimate Price is worth citing in. Duress probably. Duress definitely is, actually. So we'll bring that in. And transgress the mind too, I suppose. Yeah. I think that's what we bring in, just some disruption to help get rid of things in his hand that we don't want to have to deal with. It's 3 or greater, yeah. So I can hit a cancel or something like that. So that's good. All right. And I think that's right. I mean, it does leave us with only 3 removal spells, but if game one's any indication, we don't desperately need removal, and we can search for it if we really, really want to. If we're really desperate to get some removal. But he may run Storm Chaser Mage, the 2 mana 1/3, and we have to send this hand back, obviously. And I think this one too. It is not good. Our opponent also deciding whether he wants to mulligan. He capped, but we're going to mulligan, and that's a lot better. Anticipate, it's kind of like Serum Visions in Modern, where you're like, I have a 1-land hand, but I have a Serum Visions. It makes bad hands a lot better when you have Anticipate. I'm okay with drawing Opulent Palace. We need 4 black sources at some point, right? And it's a green source, so I think that works for me. Especially because we can dig through drawing a bunch of other lands. We can smooth out our draws and so forth, so by digging. And Evolving Wilds also, gives us the slightest chance of not drawing more lands, but hey. The question is, do I play my Swamp next turn and get an island here? I don't think I do. I think I just go for a kind of slow start, which obviously isn't ideal, but I think that's where we go. We'll play our Opulent Palace this turn, and then we have Mana for Anticipate ready. Yeah, so we'll get a Swamp. Yeah, well... Yeah, no, I'll play Opulent Palace. If I'd gotten an island there, I would have been able to cast Anticipate at the end of his turn, but we're not going to, so. See if he has more creatures that we just didn't see last game. Or if he's just about to start casting things like Cancel. Right, if he taps enough mana, I'm going to go for Oath of Jace before I go for Anticipate, I think. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty bad for us. It is going to draw him a lot of cards, chances are. I mean, at this point, we don't have any way of stopping it. We also cited out one of our ways to stop it. So, having seen that, we may do things a little differently in future rounds. But we're going to go ahead and cast Oath of Jace here, see what we can see. Grasp of Darkness would be pretty good. Pretty good. There's an okay chance we see one, right, in the top 3. Nope. All right. I think I discard Forest, Evolving Wilds, and in my turn. So, yeah, this isn't good. Like when your opponent plays a Jessian Thief and you can't do anything to stop it, you're not where you want to be. Drawing a bunch of extra cards. He's also untapped now. Like this, it's not looking great in game 2 here. I think it ended up being kind of disappointing in Magic Origins just because everybody had 2 mana, 2/2s, and or I guess it could get through those if you had a trick in your hand or any kind of spell in your hand, but I don't remember hitting my opponent very often with it and getting to draw a card. Yeah, I'll play Dismal Backwater now. Leave man up for Anticipate at the end of his turn. The opponent is stuck on 3 lands, despite drawing an extra card. Okay, now he's at 4. I'll probably cast my 2 Anticipates and then Tygam Scheming. Anticipates, I think, is better than Tygam Scheming in most of the time, especially when you're just trying to draw a Grasp of Darkness or something like it. Anticipate. See if it resolves. It does. I'll get a Monastery Siege. Yeah, that's pretty good because we can try to cast it. Well, now we have two of them. So I will cast Monastery Siege, see if it resolves. Doesn't look like it will. Alright. Counterspells actually aren't that great with creatures with prowess because you can't really use them offensively, at least most of the time. I could Scheming here. Scheming and then Anticipate doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it gets me even deeper into my deck. Yeah, let's do it. See if he lets us. Okay, well, alright. So, graveyard, 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 graveyard. Leave that. And in my turn. That worked out pretty well. That's usually what you want to see when you empty the pits when you tie game Scheming as a bunch of cards to throw in your graveyard and you empty the pits. We are going to have to wait for our opponent to tap out to get a chance to play it, probably, just like we did last time. But I think we can get there. Our opponent will, especially if we can find a way to kill this thief. If we don't, our opponent can just has the luxury of just smashing us in the face and drawing a card every turn for a while. But like if he tapped out here for Ringward now, well, I would again draw my pit, empty the pits, and cast it. Right now I would get 6 zombies. It's not super ideal, I guess, with a Ringward Owl in play, but... Alright. He did not tap out. So... now I cast my other Monastery Siege, or try to anyway. Alright. At the end of his turn, I will cast Anticipate. If we can get that removal spell, I think we'll be in a pretty good position to get him to tap out, because we can try to kill his thief, and, if he counters it, we can use Empty the Pits, because we have enough mana to do both. And all our lands produce black, which is nice right now. Especially when you want to play a 4 black card and a 2 black card. All your lands producing black is pretty ideal. God, his hand his card draw is disgusting. Okay, Dark Petition can get me there. Can get me what I want. Grasp of Darkness, that is. But the chances it gets countered seem pretty high. So maybe I just want to Scob. Scob's really not great when there's a 1/3 in play, though. Yeah, I'll just take the Scob. Why is it not letting me do what I'm supposed to be doing? There we go. And those will go to the bottom. Dark Petition's pretty clunky when your opponent has counter magic. He does have to discard a card. Smash to Smithereens, huh? That's a strange card to have. Hey, Dark Petition. I wish it was when I cast it that it did that thing. Alright, well, I'm going to cast Screeching Scob. It does up my zombie count. Should I ever get to the point where I can make some zombies. And I can cast Empty the Pits if he taps out, if I just stop here, and I think I will. I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to chump or start swinging back. Chumping just seems so bad because, it does keep him from drawing a card for a turn at least, which we definitely don't want our opponent with a handful of cards when he's got a deck full of counter magic, but you know, what are you going to do? Oh, he's doing something. Is it just Wild Slash? It's Twin Bolt. Chances seem pretty good that he has a counterspell that costs 3 or less, so I don't think we try something here. All right. Yeah, sticking that turn 3 Jesse and Thief is bad. Ooh, he's got that thing too. Yeah, we definitely do want our Languish. If we lose this game, we definitely want Languish. This I can tell you. It would be nice if he lets us cast Dark Petition, thinking, oh, I can just counter whatever he gets. I mean, he still may be able to counter both things if we draw, if we do get it. But it's definitely going to be harder for him to. Right now, he actually can't. So if I like just drew it right, oh, that's pretty ideal. Okay. Let's try it. Let's just fire off, target the Jesse and Thief with Grasp of Darkness. If he counters that, then we can cast Empty the Pits for 8 zombies. If he doesn't counter it, I still feel pretty good about what's going on here. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, again, we're going to have to do it at a kind of unideal time when our opponent is tapped out. I mean, it's unideal for us in that sense that we can't just do it at the end of his turn and then just swing with our 8 zombies. But I'm still pretty okay with it. All right. Whoops. Because for some reason on Magic Online, I've found if I don't pay the black first, it counts it as delve mana and then doesn't think I paid the black. So that's why I did that. Not as delve mana, but as mana for the X. He could have Stubborn Denial. That would screw me right here, but I think that was basically our best play. Was to go for emptying the pits there. And it's not incredible right now when our opponent has 2 creatures with prowess, one who's a 1/3 and one who's a 1/2, but it's okay. Dark Petition just lost Spell Mastery, which makes it a little less potent, but that's probably also okay. I mean, he does have to leave mana up if he wants to trade with my creatures at least, so... Or, you know, he could just kill us. I mean, he could blow us out pretty hard right now. Like, if he casts Wild Slash and then blocks, he kills one of these and then 2 more of them, and I don't, you know, he takes a little bit of damage, but that'd be pretty ugly. The best idea may actually be to be defensive with my zombies right now. I don't know. Where's Sidisi? Of course, he'll probably counter that, so. Okay, Sunken Hollow. So, like, Wild Slash, block 2 of your zombies, makes him take 8, and we keep 4 zombies. I think I'm going to leave 2 back, just because I'm tired of this Jesse and Thief nonsense. May even be worth it to leave 3 back. Yeah, let's leave 3 back, because then I can triple block the Thief and like be pretty sure it's going down, even if he has Wild Slash or something like it. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get in there with 5 of them. If he's got the Wild Slash, we're not real happy, campers, but... Oh, that looks like he doesn't, so we'll take one of them down, but he's, you know, he takes down 1/8 of our card, basically is one way to look at it. He does have something. Yeah, you should have I mean, he's going to save both his guys, but if he'd Wild Slashed and blocked 2, he would have killed 3 of my zombies right there, so didn't quite do that. So he takes 6 here. I play Sunken Hollow, and I think I just hold on to this Dark Petition. Where's our duresses, man? Where's our hate, our control hate that we cited in? Duress, Transgress the Mind, it would all be good. I always hate being a control deck and getting duressed. All right. Duress, come on. Sunken Hollow number 2. All right. I think we stay defensive too, which isn't going to favor me in the long run most likely, but I mean, look at this. So I can't do much right now with my zombies. Weaving Fate probably, yeah. I don't know why he would not attack. He should have attacked me there and Weave Fated if I blocked or if I didn't block. But, you know, I guess I'm okay with that. Because if he did that, he would have killed 4 of my zombies if I blocked. Of course, I was going to triple block Jesse and Thief. So it would have been dead anyway. But still, he would have then gotten in for 6 damage. I would be down 3 or just 1 zombie, actually. So I guess maybe what he did was okay, but it seemed a little strange to me. Right, I am going to throw every blocker in front of that. I don't really see a great danger in doing so. We are going to sextuple block it. I mean, you know, if he has Wild Slash, his dude's still dead. So, and he doesn't get to draw a card. Like that's the big problem is he has this card drawing engine, and dealing with it finally would be nice. We'd have a good chance of getting there by other means at least, maybe. So it looks like, yeah, Wild Slash or Twin Bolt. Okay. See, again, like, if he'd swung with everything there, I would have been in a world of hurt. My opponent really should have done so. All his prowess triggers. Because if he did, I mean, I probably would have double blocked, and double blocked, which I guess still has me come out ahead-ish. Maybe. Not really when my opponent has 6 cards in his hand, though. But I think we're killing the Thief one way or another. And I think we can also start attacking. He's going to kill 2 zombies here, though, so it'll be down to 4. Twin Bolt's killing 1, and his Thief will kill the other. Not exactly ideal. Okay. Would be great to draw something right now. So yeah, I'll be down to 4 zombies. I think I probably will attack with them. We'll see what we draw, but I think that's my plan at this point. I mean, obviously, if he has another Wild Slash or something like it, we're going to be pretty sad, but hopefully he doesn't. Ooh. Well, I think we want to keep 1 alive now. I mean, chances are good he has a counterspell, so I think attacking here, well, we'll attack with everything, see what happens. Sidisi's good, but so here, if I can coax him to play a spell that means his counterspells aren't ready, being able to play Sidisi right here is like amazing because it gives me a 4/6 Death Touch, who not even Monastery Swift Spears can really get through. So, of course, if he casts Wild Slash here, or something like it, then we are going to lose all of our zombies, which isn't quite as ideal. I'm not going to get to search my library for a card, and it does look like that's what he's going to do. Ravaging Blaze, okay. That is pretty good right there. So we're going to play our Sidisi now. Oh, he only did it for 1. So we are going to keep our zombie. He just did that for the prowess, basically, so he could kill 3 of my zombies. So pretty good deal. He also burns me for 1 in the process, but that does work. That is better for me, I think. Especially because I'll be able to search up something and potentially cast it right away. All right, so we're going to sacrifice this little zombie for our much larger one. So I could get Grasp of Darkness and kill one of his Monastery Swift Spears. Yes. What else could I do? I guess like my duresses and stuff wouldn't be bad, but I think it's probably better to just kill one of these now. It will also give me spell mastery for my Dark Petition. So emptying the pits wasn't enough this game. Our opponent has way too many cards on us for it to work out for us. Even though we made all those tokens, like we didn't end up. We kept ourselves alive, but I think if our opponent had been more aggressive, we would be dead. So we may still be dead in the near future. It's worth noting. Hey, I like that. See what he's got going on in his hand. I mean, if he uses up a counterspell here, we're pretty happy too, so. He does use up a counterspell there. Opponent might run out of time, which is unfortunate. But it's been an interesting matchup. I hadn't played like a straight control deck, which is kind of what our opponent's deck is with this yet, and does take a lot more thought. So maybe I should attack here. But he could go block. Yeah, no, we don't want to attack here. No. I guess maybe I do if I Dark Petition first, but no, I don't. I don't want to. We will pass. I mean, I would probably Dark Petition for Empty the Pits and look for another window to fire that off. Our opponent not wanting us to see his hand is interesting, though. It's often not correct to use a card like Negate. I'll play this island in my turn because he's tapping mana. I mean, unless there's a card that's way better in his hand, because he's tapping mana for to discard a card, whereas me casting Duress and hitting a card of his doesn't cost him any mana. Unless, like I said, he has something better. But if Negate was the only counterspell in his hand, he wouldn't have done it. But I think concealing the information is valuable here. Because I don't know what's going on. So. Okay. That is pretty good. I can reclaim and put Empty the Pits back on top, or I can put Duress back on top, which honestly is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Because I want to know what's happening. So I'm going to go reclaim and get Duress for now. Because if I can cast Dark Petition, I'll be pretty happy. And the more times I try to cast Duress, the more likely it is I get a look into my opponent's hand to see whether or not I can cast my Dark Petition. Looks like he's countering it again. No, we can pay 4. And I think it's worth it, even though that means we can't cast Dark Petition. I think it's worth it. because that means we get to discard 2 cards in his hand. So casting Spell Shrivel there really wasn't a great idea. If he has another one, I can pay 4 again, so then I get 3 counter spells out of his hand for 1. So, all right, so we're gonna get 2 here. Finally, get some insight into what's in our opponent's hand. It's probably just all counter spells. That's what I'm guessing, anyway. Yeah, we may get timed out here, but I'll probably still post this just because it shows the struggles this deck has against the control deck. Although citing in things like Duress does help. And an early Jessian Thief was also pretty brutal. Well, how about that? He has 1 counter spell left in his hand. He can weave Fate into more. He also has Ravaging Blazes, which are not enough to kill my guy right now. I think we definitely go after a Spell Shrivel. He can weave Fate right here and kill my Sidisi, so we don't really want to swing into that. So I'm going to try to cast Dark Petition, hoping that I can get through and empty the pits, which isn't awesome right now. What will I get off of Empty the Pits right now? I'll have to tap these 5, but then I'll have 3 added back, so I'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, which means what does it mean? It means 1 zombie, I guess. And then, yeah, it's not awesome right now, actually. Maybe I want something different when I Dark Petition. Well, now I do. We will Dark Petition. We will grab... It's too bad Sidisi's a legend, I guess. Those Ravaging Blazes could be the death of us. So something like grabbing Duress here is kind of tempting. But I think I'm going to go for Grasp of Darkness, kill the blocker, and swing. He may have drawn another counterspell, but, drawing that out so we can empty the pits later. With full mana on tap seems pretty good. Oh, I didn't even need to tap mana for that. I can still empty the pits right now. Yeah, I don't think I want to, though. I do, however, want to swing with Sidisi. Dropping him to 11. He does have Weave Fate, so he may be about to pick up some more counter magic, but we're going to try to empty the pits at the end of his next turn. If he would tap out for that owl, I'd be pretty happy. He could do it now, which sucks for us. See if he swings here. He has Ravaging Blaze, and he can right now blaze for 6, which is enough to kill Sidisi. Dang. He has 2 of them, too. So that's bad. We may just be dead to double Ravaging Blaze. We need to rest pretty badly. Yeah, playing another creature is not a good idea because of Ravaging Blaze. I think it's going to be... Oh, man, he's going to Ravaging Blaze my Sidisi at the end of his turn. At the end of my turn. And then if I empty the pits and play another thing, he can just Ravaging Blaze one of them and kill us the rest of the way. So I think we lose. He got just enough lands so that he can mess us up. Let's see if he does it here. He should. Yeah, he's doing it. The only way we survive and potentially win is if he decides to play his owl now after getting Sidisi out of the way. And then we can cast our Empty the Pits at the end of his turn, and I think we still get in for lethal. We're up to 7 cards there. We get 8 zombies, so yeah, it would be lethal. If he decides here to instead play his owl is the only way we could win. Otherwise, we're dead to double Ravaging Blaze. We're not going to get to play Game 3, unfortunately. We may be dead anyway. Double Wild Slash or something. Ravaging Blazing his own Swift Spear twice for 1. No, that wouldn't be worth it. Twin Bolt, though, puts us at 1 life. Tap some more of your red mana. Now he could do it to his own guy for 1, and that would kill us. Yeah, we lose. We do, in fact, lose this game. I'm going to do it anyway just because it feels so good to do it. I like emptying the pits. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just make him time out so we don't lose any games, but we lost this game. Grabbing Duress probably was the right move over, well, maybe not. Grasp of Darkness would have kind of been a problem. So 1, 2, oh, I didn't do it first. Oh, it's working anyway. And then he's going to kill us if he's paying attention. He'll just Ravaging Blaze a zombie, and that'll finish us off. Or he'll counter the Empty the Pits if he wants to be even fancier. Oh, he ran out of time. Well, I tried to let him get the win there. But yeah, I think I'll post this. I mean, you saw sort of the struggles of playing against Control. That Jesse and Thief early is what really beat us. But we also managed to win game 1 by waiting for him to tap out. And, you know, I think we probably had a good chance going into game 3. Anyways, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment,